Hey everybody, this is Jim Grzanzia from the Oracle Groundbreakers team. We're back here in Hyderabad, India for the Sangam 19 conference. And I'm here with Basheer Khan, ACE Director. Basheer, welcome.
Thank you, Jim. Good to be back. Good to see you again.
Yes, nice to see you actually. Basheer and I met last July on the Groundbreakers Yatra tour of 100,000 cities in India. And it was really great to meet you. And that's when I learned about this conference here, Sangam. You guys were telling me about that. I had to go to Sangam. Well, 6 months later, and we're here at Sangam. But before we start, I wanted to talk a little bit about your journey here, because you came here from the United States. And I was just in your session a little bit earlier, and you talking that it took some insane number of hours to get here. So what happened?
It did. First of all, it's great to be back here at Sangam. This is my third Sangam. And I left home and had to take 4 different flights. That's the way the timing worked to get here at the right time. And when I was finally here, after the delays and the layovers, I calculated how many hours it took. From the time I left home till the time I got to the hotel, it's an insane 41 hours of trips. Yeah, but great to be here. Got a little bit of sleep, but was able to go and complete my presentation. It's always good to be back at Sangam.
It's interesting you say this because I came from Japan, and it's not that far away, but it still takes 20 hours to get here with all the connections and everything. It's insane because it's just not that far.
Correct. It's the timing of it that's the key, right? Depending on which way you're coming, and all the planes or segments have to line up, and there's some delays that were not anticipated. But it's all good. I'd not miss Sangam for anything in the world. I hope all the attendees do come in and attend every year as well.
Okay, so you're doing, you said 5 talks here at this conference. Let's just go over a couple of them, or actually all of them, whatever. What are you talking about?
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. It's 5 of them. 2 of them are papers that I'm presenting. The rest are with my fellow ACE directors. The one I just completed is a reporting tutorial. As you know, reporting is very, very important. Most implementations focus on getting the transactions and getting information in correct, but many times they miss out on training the user how to extract information and BI from the applications. So I decided to spend time talk about all the different tools that are available and which ones to use when and not use the wrong tool. And Oracle has some amazing, powerful capabilities. The session was very well received, and I got a lot of follow-up questions after that too. So that
and also it was full. I was sitting on the floor.
No, it was great. I really enjoyed that session, and great questions from the team members. So that's my first session. And then we have an expert panel at 7 p.m. today. I'll be with a few of my fellow ACE directors answering any question that they may throw. My expertise is cloud applications, pretty much anything across pillars, functional and technology. So looking forward to that session. That's today. And then tomorrow is the last day of Sangam. We start out with a very interesting session. It's going to be a session about how do we as ACE directors keep up with technology, what tricks we adopt, what techniques. Do you follow blogs? Do you read the news? Do you have alerts? So I'm going to share everything I do to learn and keep up to date, and hopefully the attendees get to benefit from this experience of multiple ACE directors, how each one stays abreast of new developments in technology. So that's my session in the morning. After that, there's a session which is backed by popular demand. I've been doing this on the Yatra, and it's of immense interest to the attendees. It's about bridging the skills gap. As you know, cloud computing is coming in. Many of them, and I'm sure others have seen this too, they're very scared that they'd lose their job because cloud is coming in. And my message to everyone is, it's just realigning your skills. Your job is not going to go away, and this session covers exactly that. Regardless of whether you're a DBA or a developer or you're a manager, regardless of your role in the organization, these are the skills that you already possess. This is the gap, and how do you get to the next level and become relevant in cloud. So that session has been always a packed room, sitting on the floor kind of session. I'm looking forward to that one again. I've updated the one because I did this before, and I want to make sure I have new content to share with the attendees. So I've added a few more things to that session. And my last session tomorrow is an open chat with the ACE directors about ACE community, our journey, and that's I always enjoy that. It's almost like a fireside chat, and where we have all our peer ACE directors with us, and we're going to share our experiences and offer tips and techniques to our attendees. So yes, it's been it's really great. In the past I've only done 2 or 3 sessions. This time I'm doing 5, which is really good. And I also look forward to coming back for the Yatra in July next year. So that's something to look forward to.
And I was just inside, so I was talking about 12 cities for July.
Exactly. So the first time I participated was 7 cities in 9 days. This year it was 10 cities in 14 days, and now it's going to be even more. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, so I only went on 10 cities. I'm sorry, 6 out of the 10. 6
Right.
cities out of the 10, and it damn near killed me. But if it's going to be 12, I'd really like to come back and do all 12. You mentioned something about keeping up. One of the things I was thinking about. I think one of the things that people in technology don't realize is that it's obviously hard to keep up with technology because everything moves so quickly, but it also means it's easy to get into new fields as things change, because things change so quickly that no one necessarily knows or is an expert in the new thing, so you can move around pretty quickly.
That's a very good point. You're absolutely right. The pace of change is tremendously shortened over the years, right? In the past, you became an expert and you were an expert for years, and you heard about all those COBOL programs that came out in 2000, right? That's not the case anymore. As you said, it's evolving so fast. I tell my team, anything you know, you share with the customers, because by the time you know it, there's new things coming up. So it's not going to help if you keep everything to yourself. That's why we, as community leaders, come out here and we share whatever we know with this community. But to your point, learning becomes that much more easier. It doesn't matter that someone was an expert for 10 years. Of course, there's going to be an edge that person's going to have, but it does not stop you.
If they move in.
If they move in, exactly. And that expert who's been an expert for 10, 12 years could easily become stale in 2 years. I mean, imagine someone who was doing virtual machines and they were not into containers. They did not move into Kubernetes. Someone can come in now, pick that up, and they become suddenly more relevant than the guy who's been doing NetWare or any other VMware, for example, and they did not move into this new container-based approach. So it's as simple as that. This is possible in every field. It's not just limited to hardware, not just to DB. It just opens up the opportunity. There's so much demand out there with the new cloud technology that no matter what you know, if you put your mind to it, you can easily pick up the new tools and techniques, and you can become an expert in a very short time. It does not have to be years as it used to be. You could become an expert in, say, 2 or 3 years, and you could be in the forefront because you picked up on something new that's emerging, and nobody has the expertise that you have. So yes, it's definitely changing the way experts evolved.
I've been noticing obviously it's very active inside. There's lots of people here. I've been noticing you've been having a lot of hallway conversations, and I was trying to listen in on a couple of these things. You had I had your machine open, and you guys were actually looking at them. Well, so give me a sense of some of these conversations, and don't go too far because you're going to go out of the field.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, first, I love coming back here. Of all the places I go and talk, the interest to learn and the kind of questions you get are fascinating. And what I'm seeing here, especially today, was folks who are already using cloud technology or on the verge of using cloud, listen to my presentation and they come out and they're like, okay, we have this very specific use case. Is there a solution for this? And I do carry my laptop around because much easier, instead of just talking and telling them abstract terms, I'm able to quickly pull up a website or show them a pointer. I'll give an example. There's this gentleman, or rather this team, they were building some code and they had to deploy the client location into the DB. But as you know, the code that you write, PL SQL procedures or functions or packages, the source becomes visible to the person after you install it. Anyone can look at your code, steal it, and potentially misuse it, right? So I was talking to them about obfuscation, where your code becomes encrypted, and as you deploy to the client location, the client cannot see what was written, but it'll actually work, it'll run, but they cannot steal it anymore. So you maintain the source, you're able to, it's almost like a compiled version of the source. And I was showing that to them and they were fascinated. They didn't know it existed. There's another use case where they wanted to see how they can connect or get output in Excel, and they had all this, they were looking at a very complicated solution to have something in Excel, make it talk to the DB and pull all that in. I was able to simply go Google it and show that from Apex Application Express, which is available as part of your DB, you can actually output Excel, and they were very happy. So they're able to get instant answers from peers like me, and they said this is so worth them coming to this conference. So that's some of the things I was doing, showing them stuff on my machine. And one other bunch of attendees had this notion that the cloud cannot be altered, they cannot extend the cloud, and I was able to show them, one, they can indeed get information out very easily using BI Publisher. Two, they can build applications that look exactly like the cloud applications, and using page integration, combine the two and demonstrate that how they can leverage platform as a service to extend the application. So it is all very interesting conversations. This is just a few examples, but what I really enjoy more than my own presentations is these after the hallway conversations where each one brings a different story, each one has a story to tell, they have these challenges and ideas, and it becomes a very productive experience for both them and for me. I learned so much from coming out here as well, not just sharing my knowledge. I really enjoyed that interaction.
Excellent, really cool. Well, considering there's a forklift over our head right here, why don't we call an end to this right now?
Absolutely, let's do that before they drop something on our heads.
Exactly. So, Basheer, thank you very much for coming by. I appreciate it. And we'll be back here for more conversations from Hyderabad today and tomorrow.
See you at the Yatra and at Sangam next year.
Yep. Actually,
see you at the Yatra and the Sangam next year. Thank you.
See you guys. Bye-bye.